Today is Wednesday, January 25th. Vyakarana Vibhagaha Tadhita Prakaranam Pratamataha Mangalacharanam Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Paratram रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तले सदा भूतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्रीराम नाम वरानन ओं नम इति। अथ श्री माहेश्वर सूत्राणि अ इ अण् रुल् ए ओङ् ऐ औच् हयवरट् लण् ञ मङ ण नं झबञ् घडदश् जब गडदश् खफ छ ठ थ च खफ छ ठ थ च ट तव कपैश श सर हल इति महाश्र सूत्राणि. Okay. Let's see any corrections from last time. I don't know what I did. Last time we just started this prakaranam of matup. Tadastyastyasmin iti matup. Okay, today we'll continue with that prakaranam. It's an important section. So this section starts from 5294 in Ashtadhyay. Always keep the section of Ashtadhyay in your mind. As you know, the adhikara of pratyaya parascha starts from 311, 312 up to end of chapter 5. And then within that we have the adhikara of Nya Pradipadika. So that adhikara goes from 411 up to the end of chapter 5, and then within that we have the Dhitaha, which starts from 4176, also goes to the end of chapter 5. In that the Dhita Adhikaraha, in 4.1 we saw the Adhikara of Tasyapatyam, which we looked at in detail, and right now we are looking at this. We also looked at the Adhikara of Tasyabhavastatalau. So the last in the previous class, this adhikara from 51119, Tasya Bhavas Tvatalau. And now we are coming to the adhikara of this one, which is the Matup adhikaraha. Tadastyastyasmin iti matup. Tadastyastyasmin iti matup. Okay, so these are the adhikaras. Now, in fact, one more thing comes to mind is, you know, the sutram which we saw, I think it is 4182, Samarthanam Prathamadva. So that said that, you know, these, remember we talked about this difference between this Samarthanam Prathamadva and Samartha Pradapada Vidhi. So, so this adhikaraha, Samarthanam Prathamadva, let's look at this for 1 second. This also ends at the end of 5.2. Samarthanam Prathamadva 4182. Samarthanam Prathamadva. This adhikaraha which we saw, here Samartha means Kritasandhi Karyanam. So these Tadhita Pratyayas, they come after this Paratipadikani, in which the Sandhikaram has already been done. They're capable of expressing a meaning. That means Samartha. And Prathamadva, in the sutram which is mentioned first, that is the one which takes the pratyaya. If we say Bhagavan, so Bhago Astyasya iti Bhagavan. Now you can argue that who should take the pratyaya? Should be the one who has Bhaga or the word Bhaga itself. So in the sutram, Tadasyastyasmin iti matup. So the tat is Prathama Nirdishtam. That takes the pratyaya. Now this adhikaraha, she says, goes up to Prag Disha Vibhaktihi. So iti yavat. There's some typos here, but so that adhikaraha, Samarthanam Prathamadva, that ends at the end of this prakaranam of Matup. Okay, so last time we looked at this prakaranam again in the book. We are now on page number 145. On the bottom of the page is this. The book is given only 1 or 2, 3 different rules. In the class, we'll briefly take a look at some more just to give you some flavor. Of course, we can't take every rule in Ashtadhyay, but you can at least get some idea of what's going on. Okay, let's start. Let's start from where we left off last time. See, the adhikara of Ashtadhyaya are very important, very important. For example, the reason why I mentioned this, Samarthanam Prathamadva, if you look at all the sutra in which we saw Tasyapatyam, we looked at the adhikara Tasyapatyam, then of course we saw this entire adhikara of, we also looked at this one, Tadadhite, 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 Tadveda. Then we saw Sasya Devata is somewhere here also, Tasya Samuhaha. Then Sasya Devata, where is that? Sasya Devata, here Sa Asya Devata, Sasya Devata. Then we also saw in the Shesha Adhikaraha, we saw this like Tatra Jataha. Then we also saw Tata, where is that? Tatra Bhavaha we saw. And then we saw also, I think Tata Agataha also we saw. And then we saw Tasyedam. So all of these, this Tasya, Tasmin, and of course last time we saw Tadasyastasminiti Matup. These will all end at the end of 5.2. So the Samarthanam Prathama Dva, this Tat Shabdaha being mentioned in the beginning, that'll all end over there. After that, there'll be, Swarte Pratyaha, generally speaking. I mean, there of course can be exceptions. So if you see a sutram, like Tasyedam or Sasya Devata, Tatra Bhavaha, Tasyapatyam, that will not be in 5.3 or 5.4. See, Tadita Prakaranam is a difficult section because there are more than 1,000 rules. So we have to get some handle on this, So this adhikara of Samarthana Prathamadva ends at the end of 5.2, which means if you look at 5.3 and 5.4, from this there is no like, Tasya, Tasmin, Tad, Sa, these things are not, if you look at, they're not there. So that means that, with those will not, you may not, so you have to understand, if you see a sutram, Tadasya Asminiti Matup, then that sutram will generally not be in 5.3 or 5.4. You understand that? That's why I mentioned the adhikara of Samarthanam Prathamadva, which starts from 4182, ends at the end of 5.2. And this is the last prakaranam in the adhikara. In that adhikara, this is the Charamam prakaranam, which is Tadasyasti Asmin Iti Matup. So that is very tense. We have to be able to get a good handle on the adhikara of the Ashtadhyayi and understand them, because there is no other way to master Vyakaranam unless you know the Ashtadhyayi well. So Tadasyasti Asmin Iti Matup. Panine Anugrahaneva. Vyakarana Shastra Naipunyam Prapyate. Only by the grace of Panini will you get the Naipunyam in Vyakaranam. So, okay. Alright, so enough said. So now you understand this is the last, this Tad Asya Asti. This Tad is the last one in the Adhikara of Samarthanam Prathamadva. So, see Prathamad, this is Prathama Nirdishtam mentioned first in the Sutram. Okay. Now, let's take off from where we left last time, and we were at this one. We are talking about the Sutram 829, where the Makara of Matup takes the Vakara Deshaha. So that's in the Tripadi Karyam, which means that we have to finish all the operation. Sapada Saptadhyay Nirdishtam Karyam Samapya Tat Paschadeva Tripadyam Gantavyam. So we have to go into the Tripadi only after finishing all the operations in the Sapada Saptadhyayi. Sutram here which we saw last time was that Madhupadayascha Matorvo Yavadibhya. And we looked at the Vritti also last time in the class, and that is over here, and we took some examples. Here it is Mavarna Varnantat Mavarna Varnopadhacha Yavadivajtat Parasya Mator Masyavaha. These vrittis that I said to you many times in the class. Please read the vritti. Please pay respect to the Vrittikaraha and to Bhattoji Dikshitaha, thanks to whom we are learning Vyakaranam today. Mavarna Varnantat. So if it's Pratipadikam, it has to be Pratipadikam because this is talking about the Pratyaya Matup. The Pratyaya Matup comes in the Adhikara of Tadhitaha, which is Adhikara of Nya Pratipadikat. So Matup is following, means the previous term has to be, a Pratipadikam because Nya Pratipadikat. So Mavarna Varnantat. So following a term, which should be a pratipadikam, ending in the ma varna or a varna, which means makara, akara, athva akara antat. And then ma varna varna upadhacha. Upadha is ma varna or a varna. Then if the matup follows such a term, then the makara of matup takes vakara desha. But yavadi varjitat parasya. Yavadi ganaha will be excluded from this rule. So if you will become, you should not become yavavan, become yavaman, one who has a lot of barley. So that is the sutram we saw last time. We gave some example here. That's either it ends the term prior to the matup, which is, this sutram is not in the angastyadhikara, but the fact that matup is following means we must have an angam, correct? Yasmat pratyay vidhi tadadi pratyay angam. So that is the angam ends in a makara or a avarnaha, or the penultimate upadha is makara or avarna. Examples we gave last time were that we said like shamvan, this pratipadikam sham ends in a makara. So we get then what happens is that the makara of matup changes to vakara, shamvan. Then ending in avarnaha means akarantat athva akarantat pratipadikaat motor makarasya vakaradesha bhavati. So we get gunavan because guna ends in akaraha, balavan, then vidyavan, malavan, mayavan, and all these like that. And then comes in Gita, in fact, good chance to inaugurate Gita. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparas sanyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati yajñascha shraddhadhanascha. Where is my Gita gone today? Hold on. Let's see. Okay, let me start a new page. I don't know. My Gita page is anyway. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparasanyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati. That is chapter 4, I believe that is. Chapter 4. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparasanyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati. The Shraddha ends in the akaraha. So when you chant the shlokaha, remember the sutram. Matpadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. As I said too many times, keep on repeating the sutram until you have no more fear from that sutram. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Yeah, it comes in chapter 6, in fact, also. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Chapter 6 also. Here, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, chapter 4. Anyway, those are examples in Gita. So Gita example, you can say chapter 4 is Shraddhavan. I can put that over here. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparasnyatendriyaha. So if you can remember all these rules, unless you have some connection, you can use them. You should use these rules immediately, otherwise you'll forget what they mean. So anyway, Gita is there. 647 is here. So the sutram is Madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. Madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. And then similarly, Pratipadikam ends in a makaraha. Sorry, Upadha is makaraha, is Lakshmivan. Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Lakshmivan Samitinjayaha. So when you chant Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, if you chant or listen to it next time, when you hear Lakshmivan, remember this sutram, Madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. Upadha is makaraha. And then Pratipadikam with the avarna's upadha is yashasvan, bhasvan. So yashas, yashoastyasya iti yashasvan. So successful. So yashasvan. Then become yashasman, it becomes yashasvan. So same thing, bhasvan, same thing, bhas. Comes in Gita. Devi Surya Sahasrasya Bhave Yugamuduttita Yadi Bhas Sadrishi Sasyad Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. So Bhas, Bha. So this is Sakaranta Pratipadikam Bhas. So it becomes Bhaswan. Bhaswan also can mean Surya. Illustrious, brilliant. One has brilliance. So here we have the Upadha as Akaraha. Upadha is Akaraha. The penultimate is in Yashaswan it's Akaraha. In Bhaswan it is Akaraha. So example we saw last time, Yashas plus Su. And then we see the good news here is that once you get the sutram, then the prakriya is sugama, is easy. Sukara prakriya, sukara. Prayana suktaditeshu prakriya sukara. It is easy to get the prakriya. So here we just do the usual upadeshe janunasika ithalantyam, then krittavita samasascha supodhatu prajvedikayoho. Then we apply madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha, madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. And then after that, what happens is that this angam, yashas, would have got the padasanya by swadishva sarvanamasthani. These are very, very important rules. 1417, 1418. Of course, you've seen this in the daily examples repeatedly, but don't forget, these rules don't apply only when the supratyaya follows. They apply also when you add any tadhita pratyaya. So we would have had the padasanya by swadishva sarvanamasthani. Instead the bhasanya come by tasau matvarthe. Tasau matvarthe tanta santo bhasanyau staha matvarthe pratyaya pare. If you have takarantam or a sakarantam and then angam and then followed by matvarthe. Matvarthe means any pratyaya in the sense of matup, means which is prescribed from 5294 to end of 5.2. Angam gashta bhasanya, not padasanya. And remember, we are in adhikara of akadarad ekasanya. Akadarad ekasanya. So then the padasanya is gone, only bhasanya remains. So then what happens is sasyasho ruhu cannot apply. That's only padanta sakarasya rusyat. Now this sutram is sometimes not honored in the language. Like if any of you chant the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, Tejovati Trinayana, Lolakshi Kamarupa. So Tejovati. Now it's a bit of a problem. It should be in Tejasvati, shouldn't it? This sutram Tasau Matvarthe is sometimes not honored in the language. So also in the same Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, you have Ojovati Dutidhara Yajnarupa Priyavrata. So Ojovati and Tejovati. Also, if you chant, any of you chant the Ganapati Satarva Shirsham in the Pulashutihi, so Yashovan Bhavati, some Medhavan Bhavati. So Yashovan. So all these places you see that this sutram Tasau Matvarthe should not be, instead of Tejovati, you should have Tejasvati. So Ojovati Dutidhara. So it should have been Ojasvati. So it's been Ojasvati, Tejasvati, should have been Yashasvan, not Yashovan. Anyway, so this sutram sometimes in the language is not honored in the language. You have to keep that in mind, so don't be upset if you see some places this sutram is not honored. So I know at least in Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, at least in 2 places this sutram has not been honored. Tasau Matvarthe, because you have Ojovati and Tejovati. Okay, now Yashaswan, Bhaswan, we will decline it in the like Bhagavat Pratipadikam, same thing. Now today we're going to see one more sutram, which we are in this section of Madhupadayascha Matorvo Yavadibhyaha. So Matorvo Yavadibhyaha, we are in that section. So Matu Pratyasya Makarasya Sthani Vakaradesha Bhavati Jayaha. So Jayantat Mator Masyavaha. So a Pradipadikam Angam ending in a Jai Pratyaya. Now Jabai up to Kapai. So what is Jai? Jai means that Varganam Prathama Dvitiya Titiya Chaturtha Varnaha. So which are the first 4 columns of the Vargiya consonants, which are in the 5 by 5 matrix, K, K, G, G, Ng, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Nya. So it's the first 4. So Jai. Because we got Jabai, Gadadash, Jaba, Gadadash, Kapa, Cha, Cha, Ta, Cha, Ta, Ta, Kapai. That's what it is. So Jayantan, Mator Masyavaha. So the Makara of Matup changes to Vakara if it follows a Pratipadikam ending in a Jai letter. So Drishadaha Santyas means Drishadvan Deshaha. So Drishad, Dakar and the Pratipadikam Drishad. Drishadvan Deshaha. So it becomes Drishadvan because it is in the ending in a J letter. Of course, the. Now because Jaba, Gad, Dash. So we have Dakara is a J letter. So it becomes Drishadvan, not Drishadman, but Drishadvan. So now, okay, Drishadvan Desha. Drishad means like, Pashan one. So it's like stones. Drishad. You can check Drishad if you want. So Drishadaha Santyasminniti. So it's a stony, it's a rocky place. Rocky place. Drishadvan Pradeshaha. Drishadvan Pradesha has a rocky place. So because Drishad ends in a J letter, the Makara Matup takes a Vakara Deshaha. Drishad. Let's see what update says for Drishad. Drishad is a rock or stone. Okay. Now similarly, Taditvan Megha. Tadit Pratipadikam means lightning. So it's a cloud endowed with lightning. So Taditvan Megha. Tadasya asti asmin iti matup. You can say Tadit asya asti atva Tadit asmin asti iti. Taditvan Megha. So here also notice one thing, that because of Tasau Matvarte. So this is an interesting example now. First of all, we have the Makara of Matup changing to Vakara. Because we have a Jayantam Pratipadikam. Jayantam Angam. And not only that, because Tasau Matvarte. Don't forget Tasau Matvarte. So next time you remember Sutram Yachibham, which we use all the time. Immediately think in your mind of Tasau Matvarte. Because Tasau Matvarte is not used that commonly. This is another trick you can use in Ashtadhyay. Sutram which is not used that commonly, you can connect it to Sutram which you already know very well. And we use Yachibham all the time we use Yachibham, all the time. So, punaha pariyujyate asmabhihi. So, tatsanniyogena, in connection with that, Tasau Matvartiti Sutram smartavyam. So think of the Sutram Tasau Matvarte when we think of Yachibham. So here what we have the word Tadit Takarantam Tasmat Bhasanya Bhavati. Tadit iti etasya Bhasanya Bhavati. Tasmat Jhalam Jashvante iti Jashadesho na Bhavati. So that's only Padante. Jhalam Jashvante. It remains Tadit one, not Tadid one. Because, one more time, Tadit is ending in a Takara. But Tasau Matvarte 1419, Angam gets the Bhasanya, does not get the Padasanya. 8239, which is Jhalam Jashvante, only applies when as the Sutram says, Ante, Padante. This is not Padante. Takara is not a Padanta Sakara. So it remains as Taditvan, not Tadidvan. Okay, so these are two rules over here. Again, in the class, we cannot take all the rules, but you understand. Remember this Sutram, which is Madhupadhaya Shchamatorvo Yavadibhyaha and then Jayaha. Now in the book, if you see that he has given the next thing as a Pratya Vini. So we are in the book on the bottom of this page. And he says Vini. See, in the book he's given the reverse order. Viparita Kramena Upanyastam Asmin Pustake. In this book it is given in the reverse order. Matup is actually the default. Then actually the Ini, which comes in 5211516 Ata Inita now, and then comes Vini. But anyway, Vini is given on top in the book. He says that. So let's look at this Pratya Vini. Says this sutram is Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Any new sutram, keep on repeating it. This is the most optimal way to learn Vyakaranam. After that, you can repeat the Vritti also. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. That means this is Spashtam. Sutram is Spashtam. As Antat Maya Medha Sraj Ityete Bhyascha Matvarte Vinis Tadit Vinihi Taditasyat. If you want to actually speak in Sanskritam also, keep on reading the Vrittis. They'll give you of course you are reading Bhagavad Gita also, we're doing Ramayanam classes also, and every day you're getting a post from the Bhagavata Puranam also. In addition to that, we're doing Sundarkandam also in Saturday class, and every day you're getting an exam from the Bhagavata Puranam. So on top of that, because what happens is that in Bhagavata Puranam or even in Gita, you get these Arshaprogaha. But in Vyakarana Granteshu, Arshaprogaha na vidyante, because there is no Arshaproga, because that's a grammar text. So bhasha ati shuddha syat vyakarana drishtya shuddha bhasha. So Vyakarana Granteshu Shuddhatama bhasha, because in the text which are Siddhanta Kaumudi, etc., that is the authority in this language. So how the Kashika writes, how Bhattoji writes, how Tattvabodhini writes, how Padamanjari there, Mahabhashyam as a matter of fact. If you really want to speak Sanskritam, read the Mahabhashyam, because that is exactly how we should speak. Exactly how we should speak is how the Mahabhashyam is. That's because there everything is inspected thoroughly. So asantad maya medha sajityete bhyascha matvarthe vinih taditasyat. As I mentioned to you in the beginning of the class, this adhikara of matup starts from 5 to 94 to end of 5.2. So matup sarvatra samuchiyate eva. This adhikara, matup comes by what has happened here is that, let's look at it briefly. In 5 to 94, this starts. This Anyatarasyam is coming here. This Anyatarasyam keeps on going down. So we're going to see this later on in the class today. Pranisthadato Lajanyatarasyam. Anyatarasyam keeps on going. So that's what Kashika says, that Sarva Matup Sarvatra Samuchiyate Eva. Which means that also it's included. This Matup is included. Everywhere this Matup is included. So when all these other pratyas come, they are optional, which means that Matup is there all the time. So Matup Sarvatra Samuchiyate Eva Asmin Adhikare. So okay, so following a Pradipadikam ending in a Sakaraha or the Pradipadikam Maya, Medha or Sraj, the affix Vini is used in the sense of Matup. So of course alternatively Matup Samuchiyate Eva Sarvatra Asmin Prakarane. So Dve Rupe Staha. There will be two forms, one with Matup, one with Vini. So example is Tejasvi, Yashasvi, Varchasvi, Mayavi, Medhavi, Sragvi. Because look at what we have, Tejas. So we have this Prajapati ending in a Sakaraha, same thing with Yashas, same thing with Varchas, same thing. Now these are ending in a Sakaraha. And then we have Maya, Medha, Sajo, Vinihi. So Mayavi, then Medhavi, and Sragvi. Of course, Maya is one who has his mystic power. Medhavi is one who has Medha intelligence. And Sragvi is one who has a garland. Just take one example. Sragasya stiti. Sragasyastiti. Sragasyastiti. Sragvi atva sragvan. So, the steps are straightforward. Sraj plus su. Because remember, in this adhikara, this is for tadasyasti yasmin iti matup. So tat is prathamantam. So in this entire adhikara, when you're doing the prakriya, you will take the pratipadikam and add the prathama vibhakti. Because it's tad asya asti asmin iti matup. That tat is prathamantam. So we take sraj plus su and then add the pratyaya vini by asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. And when the lopaha upadeshe janu nasika it. And then of course usual pradipadika sanya krutadisa samasascha supodhatu pradipadika yoho. Now what happens is that pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. Pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. So now sraj gets the padasanya. Normally we would have had Chohokuhu we would have had. But then it becomes, let's see, Sraj. Okay, we are going to use 8236. 8236 says, Vrashcha, Bhrashcha, Srija, Mrija, Yaja, Raja, Bhraja, Chasham, Shaha. So exception to Chohokuhu. Now give me 1 second. Actually, I should have checked this before. This Sraj, so Vrashcha, Bhrashcha, Srija, Mrija, Yaja, Raja, Bhraja, Chasham, Shaha. Okay. Now, if Sraj ends is coming from the Pratipadikam Sraj, then we have to use this Apavada of 8236, make this the Mudhanya Shakaradi. Let me just double check that. Give me 1 second, please, because Sraj. The best place to check this is in the Amarkosha commentary, 248 page. Okay. Sraj. Karpura Guru Goni Kardamaha Varnikaha Churnani Sanskaro. Okay, Gandhamalya Disrad some. Okay, here it is. Malyam Mala Sajo Mutni. This is the Amar Kosha. So let's see. Srijyate. Srijyati Sukham Vayati Srajya. Okay, good. Because we have to first confirm that this this jakara of Srajya is coming from Dhatu Srajya. It is coming. Srijyate Srijyati Sukham Va. That's what it says. So, okay, and actually this is a, if you look at the sutram over here, which we have seen in the daily examples, which is 3.259, I think it is. It says Ritvik Dadrik Srag Dig Ushnik Anchu Yuji Krinchancha. These are ready-made forms. Etani Rupani Nipatyante. Ready-made form ending in a Pratya Quin. So Sraj is given as a ready-made form ending in the Pratyak Quin. So these two steps really are not that important, but we should do them, I think, because if this Chakara of Sraj is coming from the Dhatu Sraj, the Dhatu Sraj is mentioned in 8.236. 8.236, as you know, Vrashcha Srija. So here we should do the Murdhanya Shakaradesha. Shakaradesha by Vrashchityadina Shakaradesha. Apavada for Chuhokuhu. And after that, we'll make the Jalam Jashonte. Because we just said, Raj got the Padasanya by Pratye Lopi Pratye Lakshanam Supting Antam Padam. We got Srad. And then, of course, finally, Quin Pratyasya Kuhu. Quin Pratyasya Kuhu. So anything in the Quin Pratyaha. So that will take the Kavarga Adesha Padante. Quin Pratyasya Kuhu Padante. So finally, so that's why I'm saying these two steps, 8.236 and 8.239, they don't really matter much, because ultimately Quin Pratyasya Kuhu is going to come and going to make it Srag. So let's just check Quin Pratyasya Kuhu, because if a Pradipadikam ends in the Pratya Quin, then Pradipadikam ends in Pratya Quin, then it takes the Kavarga Adesha Padante. Simple, straightforward sutram. So 8.262, Quin Pratyasya Kuhu. Quin Pratyasya Kuhu. Quin Pratyayo Yasmat. Tasya Kavarga Antadesha Sat Padante. So since Raj ends in Pratya Quin, it gets the Kavarga Adesha, and then Sthanyantra Tamaha, and then we get Srag, and then Sragvin. So here, because Sraj was mentioned in this sutram, Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi, we got the Pratya Vin, and then because Quin Pratyasya Kuhu, we got the Kavarga Adesha, and we got Sragvin, because Sraj got the Padasanya by Pratya Vipratyakshanam Supting Antam Padam. Sragvin. And then Vinya Bhava Pakshe, we get the Pratya Matup, and because this is a Jakara Sraj one, so then we're going to get it ends in a Jai, it's a Jayantam. So the Makara of Matup will become a Vakaraha, it becomes Sragwan. So again we use 8 to 10 Jayaha. We just saw the sutram just now, which means if the Pradipadikam ends in a Jai letter, then the Makara of Matup becomes a Vakaraha, becomes Sragwan. So that's so similarly, these other forms are similar. Tejasvi, Yashasvi, Vachasvi, in all of these cases, Tasau Matvarthe. Just talked about that. If a Matvarthe Pratyaya Parataha. So then what happens is that this Angam does not get the Padasanya, it gets the Bhasanya. So we cannot apply Sasajisho Ruhu. So this is Tejasvi, Yashasvi, Varchasvi, like that. Now let's look at the Sragvin. When you do decline it in Prathama Ekvachanam Pullinge, then Upada Dirgha by Saucha Sutram, decline like Yogin Pratipadikam. If you want to practice Saucha, you can, this is Anujita Dikaraha of Upada upadadhirghadhikaraha. So the sutram is saucha, anuvritti of in, han, pushar, yam, nam is coming from the prior sutram. So saucha, this is upadadhirgha becomes ragvi. So this you can practice on the website if you want to get 6, 4, 13 saucha. In the feminine, what happens is that because of runnebhyo neep, we get sragvi, sragvi, sragvini, and sragvini. Because here the nimittam is the refa, and by atkupmanum yavayepi. So we get the nakara deshaha sragvini. Nothing special. Runnebhyo neep. If you have a pratipadikam ending in the rakaraha, or a srit, or nakaraha, then striyam neep pratyaya bhavati. The pratyaya neep, as we mentioned many times, you cannot use anything in the feminine unless it is checked out by the dhikara of striyam. So that's 413 starts striyam, 414 is ajadyata shtap, and 415 is rannebhyo neep. So you get the pratyaya neep, anubandha lopela shaktatite halantyam, and then you get sragvini because of the natvam by atkupman nyungavaye, decline like nadi. Now, so that is the sutram which is asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Actually, in the case of maya, we're going to get 4 forms. They're going to be coming down here. You're going to get 4 forms. It's going to be Mayi, Mayikaha, Mayavan, and Mayavi. Because we're going to see that in a second. So we're going to look at this Maya in a second. That is the Maya of Maya, right? This word Maya has to be special. So we're going to get 4 forms. We're going to get the form Mayavi also. We're also going to get the form Mayi and Mayikaha, and also Mayavan. Let's hold on till we get to Sutram Vriyadibhyascha. So we'll understand how we get these 2 forms, Mayi and Mayikaha. Right now we got the form Mayavi we got by Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. And then we got Mayavan also because Sarvatra Matup Samuchiyate Eva. Matup is included in all these as the default form in all of these. It is also a secondary form. Second form is also Matup. So we get Mayavan, of course, because Maya ends in the Avarnaha. Madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. So you get the Matupaha. Matupo makarasya vakaradeshaha by 8 to 9. So we get Mayavan, Mayavi, and these 2 are coming also. But before we get there, let's go to Sutram Atha Inithanau. Atha Inithanau. Atha Inithanau. Suprasiddham Sutram. It's a very famous Sutram, Atha Inithanau. In the book right now, we are now on this point number 2 in. This affix is added to nouns ending in a akaraha and to vrihi, maya, danshtra, etc. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. I'm sorry, excuse me. Atha inithanau. Atha inithanau. Atha inithanau. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, Atha inithanau. It's very simple. Again, look at the number 52115. This is in the adhikara of Matup. So, Matup prakarane patitam idam sutram. And it says, Adantar pratipadikat. Matvarthe inithanau tadita pratyayau vastaha. So, Adantar pratipadikat. If you have pratipadikat ending in a akara only now. Akara, like, so like bala, danda, like that, So, Adantar pratipadikat. This is ataha. Taprastat kalasya. Adantar pratipadikat matvarthe inithanau tadita pratyayau vastaha. So, dando asya stiti dandi dandikaha dandavan. This is what we looked in the class. Last class we talked about the special meanings in which Matup comes, and one of them was samsarge. So when somebody who always carries dandam in his hand, samsarge, sambandhe, sanyoge, dando asya stiti dandi. So now if you have a dandam and you keep it at home, then you're not a dandi anymore. But dandi is, if you carry it all the time, like a word like dandi, chhatri. So that is the example here. So we are looking at the sutram, how dandi was derived. So Atha inithanau says, Adantar pradipadikat matvarthe inithanau tadita pratyayo vastaha. Dando asya asti iti dandi dandikaha dandava. So these steps are always the same. Add up this because tad asya asti asmin iti matup tad. Prathamantam, add the pratyaya su, then ini by 52115 Atha inithanau. Anubandha lopaha upadeshe janunasika it, then pradipadika sanya kritya dhita samasascha supo dhatu pradipadikayoho supluk. These are all the same steps. These steps are all the same all the time. And then, of course, angam gets the bhasanya. I've said to you many times is that when you add a tadisa pratyaya, because tadisa pratyaya in the swadi list, angam has to get the padasanya, the bhasanya. So either you apply 1417, which is swadishva sarvanamasthane, or 1418, yachibham. In fact, we also learned 1419, tasaumatvarthe. In this case, of course, yachibham, because the pratyaya is ajadi pratyaya. So we get the angam gets the bhasanya. Then yasyeti cha yavarnantasya bhasya lopa bhavati tadite ikare cha pare. So you get the akar lopaha, avarnantangasya lopaha, alontyasya, and then we get akar lopaha, and then dandin. Decline like yogin, again, same thing. So this, this is already known to us. I just copied this from one of the Saturday class examples. If you add dandin plus su, by sojas, etc., then by saucha sutram, the penultimate upadha of terms ending in, this is the one right now, in. So in, han, pushan, and aryaman is lengthened when the supratyaya, which is not sambuddhi, follows. So in dandin ends in, we get the sutram, so become dandin. So this is nothing new, but I'm just giving you something which you already have seen repeatedly in the daily examples. So saucha is given here. And then we get the anubandha lopaha upadesha janunasika it, then hanyabhyo dirghat sutisya pruktam hal sakar lopaha. Then angam gets the padasanya by pratyaya lopi pratyaya lakshanam suptingantam padam, and then no lopa of pradipadikaantasya becomes dandiya. Now when we add the pratyaya tan, because atta ini tanau, so pratyaya tan is also used. Of course, ini is much more common than tan, but tan can also be used. So now only thing here is that after anubandha lopaha, we get tasyekaha. So ta becomes ika, so it becomes 7350 tasyekaha. Actually, technically speaking, here also the akara in tan ucharanartham. So this akara is this chakara uttaravarti akara ucharanartham. So tasya ika adesha bhavati. The takara becomes ika. The takara takes the ika adesha. So becomes ika. So basically na is gone by halantyam, and then this akara is ucharanartham, and then takara is sthane ika adesha. But tasyekaha. So tasyekaha, we want to look at it quickly one more time. Tasyekaha. This is the angasya dikaraha. So this pratyayadi takaraha takes the ika adesha. This is also vachana samarthyat. We don't do chutu. If we apply chutu, then we get the itsanya for the takaraha, tasya lopasyat. So vachana samarthyat atra takarasya itsanya na bhavati. Otherwise, if we apply chutu, then the sutram tasyekaha will become vyartham. It will not apply. Kutrapi avakasham na labhyeta. It will na labhyeta. Avakasham na labhyeta. It would not get an opportunity to apply anywhere if you apply chutu. Avakasham na labhyeta. Okay, if you want to look at quickly, we can look at tasyekaha. We've seen this many times before. Because this is an angasya adhikaraha. So angasya means this takara which follows an angam. Means it is a pratyayadi takaraha. That will take the ika adeshaha. Tasyekaha 8350 tasyekaha. Let's see what it says. Angat parasya. Tasya ikaradesha syat. Angat parasya. Angat parasya means pratyaya. Mrs. Pratyayadi Takara basically. So tasyekaha, then the same steps again. We get the Pradipadika Sanya, Krutadita Samasashcha, then Supodhatu Pradipadika Yoho. I said to you many times, once you're sick of hearing these sutras from me, you gotta teach them to somebody else. Because by this time you must have said this 1,000 times in this class. Krutadita Samasashcha, Supodhatu Pradipadika Yoho. Because when we did Samasa Prakaranam, we had the same sutram. Tadita Prakaranam, same sutram again. Krutadita Samasashcha, Supodhatu Pradipadika Yoho. This is, inside a Pradipadikam, sup cannot stay. So we get supluk, and then again, same thing, angam gets the vasanya by yachibham and yasyeti cha akar lopaha puravat, just like we had the same thing, just like we had it before, same thing. This is ivarnantasya avarnantasya bhasya lopavoti tadite ikare cha pare. So we get dandikaha. Similarly, when you get dhanam asya astit dhanikaha, So when you get dhanam asya asti iti dhanikaha, so you can say, bhuyah dhanam, bhuyo dhanam asya asti, bhuyas, one who has lot of wealth, dhanikaha is a rich man. So dhana, same thing. Ata ini thanau, you get the form dhanikaha, dhanikaha. So bhumni means has in plenty. One who has money in plenty is dhanikaha. Can be dhani also, dhanin pradipadikam, also can be dhanikaha. So remember again, last time we saw these special meanings in which matup comes, and the first form was bhumni bahutve. Bhumni bahutve. In fact, here we put the dhanam asya asti. Bahudhanam asti asya dhanavan. Same thing, dhanikaha atva dhani. So bahudhanam asya asti asya iti dhanavan atva dhanikaha. Okay, so that is this. Now there is a statement in the Mahabhashyam on this sutram, and that statement is like this. Let's look at that for a second. That says ekaksharat krutaha jatehe saptamyancha na tau inithanau smrutau, which means that ini and tan, they do not come after a pradipadikam, of course, because adhikar of nya pradipadikas after pradipadikam, which is ekaksharat, is a single vowel, ekachaha. Then krit pratyayantat, krit pratyaha, jatehe, so jati vachaka shabdaha, and saptamyancha. Remember, matup says tad asyasti asmin niti matup. It can be asyasti atva asmin. That asmin niti arthe inithanau na bhavataha. So one more time is that in the Mahabhashyam Patanjali says that is ini and tan, they do not come after pradipadikam, which is ekach, which ends in a krit pratyantat, jati vachaka shabdat, and then saptamyamcha. Examples are like this, is that tadasya asti iti sutrastheti karanaha Vishaya niyamartaha sarvatrapi sambadhyate iti. Now what happens in this one thing to remember in the suttam, tadasya asti asmin iti matup. Iti karanasya kim prayojanam, iti karanasya kim prayojanam. Why does Panini say iti? That iti is used in this entire prakaranam to give us, some extended meanings, some limitations. So basically, shishta prayoga anusarena. So that is the function of the iti. Tad asya asti asmin iti karanaha. So this is from Tattva Bodhini commentary. Tadasya asti asmin iti matup iti sutrastha iti karanaha. Iti sutrastheti karanaha. That iti karanam in that sutram. Vishaya niyamartha means to limit this topic, means to give it some more structure. Sarvatra api sambadhyate iti. So in all these places we get some little bit extra structure on this topic by the iti karanam. And that, how do we know what is the structure? From the Vyakhyanam, or finally Shishta Prayoga. So that is why these right now what Patanjali is saying is that after one of these, Pradipatikam is a Ekakshar Pradipatikam, Tutpratyayanta Pradipatikam, Jati Vachaka Pradipatikam, and then Saptamyancha, in that meaning, Inithanau na bhavataha. Nasmrutau. Okay, so swam dhanam asya asti iti swavan. Because swa is dhanam. Swa has a lot of meanings. One is, swa can be dhanam, swa can be jnatihi, so it can be, your own relative. It can mean wealth. Of course, swa is also sarvanama shabdaha. But here, if we take swam dhanam asya iti swavan, you'll not get the form svi. If you add, so basically, if you have ekach pradipadikam, a pradipadikam which is ekakshar pradipadikam, then we should not add ini or tan to that. So it will become swavan, it will not become svi. So because like we had dandi and dandavan and dandikaha, here only atra ekam eva rupam sambhavati swavaniti, natu svi atva swikaha. So ini thanau na bhavataha. Adantat prajapadikat inithanau na bhavataha. So if you have one more time, if prajapadikkam, which is single vowel prajapadikkam, then don't add ini or tan to that. One more thing is that karako astyasti iti karakavan. This karaka from dhatu kuru, you get the forward karaka. by the nul trachau. Is pratyaya nul trachau, because when Panini starts the adhikara of kudating. First of all, Panini takes this pratyaya, which is krityaha, the potential participles. Then he takes this sutram, which is nul trichau. Nul trichau. The pratyaya nul and trich can be used. Of course, kartari, krit. So karaka is a doer, one who does. So we take in the Vyakaranam, we talk of the Karaka Prakaranam. Means that they are parts of the action, they participate in the action, they do something. So nul trichau, so nul, of course, yuvaranakau by 711. The wu becomes aka, and because the nakara is a nit, we get acho niti. Uran raparaha, we get the word karaka. Basically, the karaka pradipadikam ends in the krut pratyaya nul. So it's a krut pratyanta pradipadikam, krudantam. Then what happens is that, as Patanjali said, we should not be using the pratyaya ini or tan. We should not be saying karaki or karakikaha. We should only say karakavan, one who has doers. So maybe like a Prabhu, Raja, Natha. So one who has people, one who has doers is, karakavan. We should not be taking ini or tan, because this karaka ends in a krut pratyaya nul. So therefore, krutaha inithanau nasmutau. So we should not end inithanau, only karaka. Of course, matup comes everywhere. And clearly in this case we are using the adanta pradipadikam, avarnanta pradipadikam. So we are using the madhupadhayascha matorvo yavadibhya. So we get the vakaradesha, again swavan, karakavan. But the bottom line is we cannot use ini or tan. This is a krut pratyanta pradipadikam. Then vyagravan. Let's say a Raja or somebody, a king who has a tiger, I guess. So Vyagravan, so Vyagro asti iti Vyagravan, somebody who has a tiger. Now this Vyagra jati vachaka shabda, species. So then we cannot say Vyagri or Vyagrikaha. So we should say Vyagravan only, Vyagravan. So this is the jatehe. Inithanau nasmrutau. And finally, saptamyancha. So dandaha santyasya dandavati shala. It's a shala, it's a hall, I guess, in which there are these staffs that were there. So dandaha santyasmin dandavati shala. So now here it is asanti asyam saptamyam. So then we cannot say dandini shala. So that we cannot be said. We cannot say like that. So so this ini and tan should not be used here also. Ini and tan cannot be used here also. So we cannot say. So we should only use the pratyaya. Matup, of course, we still have to use madhupadhayascha matorvayavadibhya, get the vakaradeshaha dandavati shala. But then all these rules are prayena. So prayikam idam prayikam, which means that it applies not everywhere, but most of the time. So if you get a word like karyi, karyikaha, so karyamasya asti iti karyi atva karyikaha. So this karyam also ends in the pratyaya, which is this one over here, back here, ruhalor nyat. Ruhalor nyat. Pratyanyat is come in the karyam to get the so kartum yogyam karyam. Now karyam also ends in the krut pratyaya, which is nyat. So this being a krudanta pradipadikam, we should not have used the ini or tan. But this is prayikam. Doesn't apply everywhere. That's why the Pani doesn't say this specifically. He leaves it to Shishta Prayogaha. Because all this in all entire Prakaranam, Tadasyasti asmin iti. Iti karanad labhyate sarvam idam. Idam sarvam iti karanad labhyate. Because in the Sutram Pani says iti, therefore we have to understand that. So these rules, this one doesn't apply everywhere. Ekaksharat kruto jate saptamyancha natau smutau. Iti praikam. Na sarvatra. So we do have some form like karyi or karyakaha. Anyway, remember that inithanau most of the time do not apply. Pradipadikam has one vowel only. If it's a krudanta pradipadikam, If it's a jati vachaka pradipadikam, of its saptamyancha, so we cannot use in a saptamya meaning. So that in which this is found, then we cannot use ini or tan. Okay. Now comes right after ini tanau, atta ini tanau, comes vriyadibhyascha. Vriyadibhyascha. Atta ini tanau allowed us to use ini and tan after a akaranta pradipadikam. I'm sorry, 52115, excuse me. But now what we have is that vriyadibhyascha. Vriyadibhyascha says that some other words, vrihi, etc. Vrihi. Vrihi, of course, means rice. If you chant the chamakam. There's this vrihayashchame. So vrihi is rice. So vrihi could not have taken the pratyaya ini or tan, but the prior sutram. It is not akaranta pradipadikam. It's a ikaranta pradipadikam. So now what Pani says, these class of words, vrihi, etc., they also can take ini or tan. Sutram is that. So vriyadibhyascha. Pratamantebhya. Always pratamante means the entire prakaram pratamantebhya sarvatra. Asmin prakarane. Because it tad asya asti asmin iti matupta. So this entire prakaranam, this tad is pratamantam is coming as down the entire prakaranam. So tad from 94, tad asya asti asmin iti matupta. So pratamantebhya matvarthe ini thanau tadita pratyaya vastaha. Now of course vastaha sarvatra matup samuchiyate eva. Get matup everywhere. So, and then there's some complication here. Nacha vriyadibhya sarvebhya pratyaya dvayam ishyate. So we just said that following the words vrihi, etc., you can get ini or tan. But there's some niyamaha being done over here. There is some structure within this rule. So not every word in the vriyadi class will take ini and tan. Of course, in addition to matup is always there, but I'm saying that, so it says that kim tarhi, then how should we understand this to be? Kim tarhi shikhamala sanyadibhya inirvachya. The word like shikhamala sanya get the ini. Then ikan yavakhadadishu, the yavakhada etc. takes ikan. Ikan means tan basically. Because once you do tasya kaha, you get that tan becomes ikan. So some of them take only ini, some of them take only tan, and parishishtebhya ubhayam. So the remaining words take ini or tan. So within this, let's look at this gana for 1 second. 521 vriyadibhyascha, 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 vriyadibhyascha. 52116 vriyadibhyascha. System says, just look at this gana if it's given over here. So you look at the gana like this. It says that shikha, I'm sorry. So vrihi, so vrihi, maya, and then you have shikha, mekhala, sanya, balaka, mala, veena, vadava, ashtaka, pataka, karman, charman, hamsa, iti etebhya iniravaishyate. According to Kashika, these only take ini. Shikha, mekhala, sanya, balaka, mala, veena, vadava, ashtaka, pataka, karman, charman, hamsa. Hamsa ityetebhya iniravaishyate. Yavakhada kumari nau ityebhya ikanyeva ishyate. Parishishtebhya dvau api pratyayo bhavataha. So this is like that. So that is what is given in this ganaha. So bottom line is that in this ganaha, not all of them will take ini or tan. By the way, in the book, I think we are done right now. In the book, all he gave, well, actually in the book, he does give the word vrihi and maya. This vrihi, maya, they come in the vriyadi ganaha. And we could look at Danshtra also in a second, so we'll come to that. So, one more time, is that vriyadi ganaha, vriyadibhyascha comes right under ini tanau, anantaram sutram. So, vriyadibhya pratamantebhyo matvarthe ini tanau tadita pratyayo vastaha. Means pakshe matubapi. Nacha vriyadibhya sarvebhya pratyaya dvayam ishyate. So not all of them will take, but shishta prayoganusarena. And this is niyama is being done over here. Kim tarhi shikhamala sanyadibhya inirvachya. So shikhamala sanya etc. They will take only ini. In Yavakhadadishu ikan. Parishishtebhya ubhayam. So the examples given in the book is Maya astyasyeti mayi, mayikaha, mayavan, and mayavi. Okay. Now mayi and mayikaha, we just like we formed dandi and dandikaha. We just same steps, all the same. Because in this case also we can apply yasyeti cha. Yasyeti 64148 says E varnantat, avarnantat. So we have a angam ending in the E varnaha, ivarnaha, or avarnaha. So maya ends also in the avarnaha, dirgha akaranta. So then we can apply yasyiti. Just so the steps in deriving mayi and maikaha, the same steps as dandi and dandikaha. Of course, in mayavan we have the matup. Then we're using 8 to 9. Madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. And mayavi, because we just looked at the sutram, asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi, which we just saw that. So 5 to 121. So the word maya is mentioned in that. So we get the form. We get the vini pratyaha 5 to 121. I'll put that here if you want. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. So we get 4 forms. We get mayi and mayikaha. That's because of the sutram which is vriyadibhyascha 52116. Then mayavan because matup sarvatra samuchiyate eva. So matup is coming everywhere. And of course we get madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhyaha. Then mayavi because of asmaya medha sajo vinihi. We get mayavi. Of course padipam mayavin pradipadikkam mayavi pratama ekvachanam pullinge. We get 4 forms. Mayi and mayikaha from vriyadibhyascha, and mayavan from the default matup, and then mayavi from asmaya medha sajovini. This word maya is always special, right? That's the maya of maya. Has these 4 forms. And then one more example, naurastyasyti navikaha. Now we just said, yavakhadadishu ikan. So these words which we just saw the gana right now, we got it was Yavakhada Kumari Nau iti etebhya ikanneva ishyate. So naurastyasyti navikaha. I mean the same steps you had nau pradipadikam nau plus su. So add the pratyaya tan tasyekaha becomes ikan. And of course halantyam. So nau plus ika. And then the supluk. So nau su plus ikan, now su plus ika, halantyam, and then supluk by supodhatu pradipatikayoho, now plus ika, and then just echo yavayavaha na. So become navikaha, and then pakshe nauman. Remember that madhupadayascha matorvo yavadibhya is only if it's avarnanta pradipadikam or avarna upada pradipadikam. This is ending in aukaraha. So it's only nauman or navikaha. Navikaha is a boatsman. One who has a boat is navikaha. So naurastyasyti navikaha. Because in this yavakhadadishu ikan nishyate. So anyway, bottom line is if you see the pratyaha ini or tan applying after pradipadikam which is not adanta pradipadikam, then think of this sutram vriyadibhyascha. So we say in fact the word vrihi itself. So we get, if you look over here, the Kashika will get these 2 forms. Like so we get vrihikaha. So one who has the lot of rice is vrihikaha. So one who has a lot of grain, rich man. So because vrihi ends in a ikaraha, we could not have used atta ini tanau. So, but the ini pratyaya is seen over here, then think of the sutram vriyadibhyascha. Okay? So basically this vriyadibhyascha extends this scope of ini and tan beyond a pradipadikam ending in a akaraha. So, because 52115 is only atta ini tanau, that only applies pradipadikam ends in akaraha. Now this ends the program in the book. I'm going to just quickly give you some more examples. Again, these are not in the book, so I don't want to spend the whole class on this, but give you some idea some other rules in this prakaranam. In the book, this page is now finished. You're looking at, so because in the book, damshtra. The damshtra, let me see. See, all these ganas, they're like flexible ganas. So it may not be, if you look at the word damshtra, it may not be listed in the gana as such. Let's see the word damshtra. No, shikha, mekhala, sanya, valaka, mala, vadava. So damshtra doesn't seem to be in this gana. But I think there is no way out. I think we have to use this vriyadibhyascha. So vriyadibhyascha. In fact, I'm looking at this in this book, Ganaratnavali. They have damshtra. They have charma, varma, kumari, damshtra, sanya, yava, khadaha. So between after charma, where is it? Let's see. Charman, karman, charman. And then, in fact, here they have varma. And then they have damshtra also in here. So in this kashika, I don't see damshtra in this gana. But, we can include in that damshtri. Damshtri says, damshtra asya asti iti damshtri. So prashasta damshtra asya asti damshtri. One who has a special jaw. Or, this damshtra. So, this damshtri is a form which you see in the language. So one who has this exceptional. Let's look at what Apteji says. I think it's kind of a tooth or a jaw. Damshtra. So damshtri. Damshtri is because damshtra ends in a akaraha. So we could not have used ata initanau. Ata initanau cannot be used. So let's see damshtra. Damshtra. So a large tooth, a tusk, okay, a tusk or a fang. Or a tusk or a fang is damshtra. So, okay, so damshtra is not in the Kashika, I don't see it, but I think we can add it in there. I have this another book, Ganaratnavali has it in there. These ganas, as I said to you, ganas are, always not, there is always a gray area in these ganas, so we have to put in this gana. Same sutram. There's no other sutram, I think. So this page is now done. In the book it is done. All these exams, we already looked at all these. This Taditvan we saw today. Because this is Jayantam, so we got that. And Tasav Matvarte, Yashaswan, Asmaya, Mirza, Sajo, Vinihi, Lakshmivan, same thing, 8 to 9. So all these we saw today. And Buddhimat we saw, this obviously in Vrihi Maya, in the Vriyadi Ganaha. And Maya is also in this other Gana, not other Gana, is Sutram, Asmaya, Mirza, Sajo, Vinihi. Okay, so now this completes this page of the book. What I'd like to do is that, in fact, the next page also on the top, he just talks about this declining this vini and ini. We know sutram saucha, runnebhyo nip. We already saw that. In the feminine runnebhyo nip, we already discussed that. And then matub vatub, just like Bhagavat Pratipadikam. We already saw that also repeatedly in the class. So before we go to this last point in the book, let me give you some more just to give you an idea of this matub prakaranam. Okay. If you want to do some homework, you can look at these. First one is Arsha Adibhyo Ch. Arsha Adibhyo Ch. Arsha Adibhyo Ch. So Arsha Adibhya Pratamantebhyo Matvarte Ach Tadita Pratyasya. So when these words ending in Arshas means piles, the disease. Piles. So Arshamsi Vidyante Yasyeti Arshasaha. So one who has piles. So now this pratyaya ach is used. Ach is used. So what should have had? We have Arshas Pratipadikam, which is Sakarana Pratipadikam. So we should have got the form pratyaya vini by Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. So it should have become Arshasvi. Instead of that, this is in a special gana. So the pratyaya ach has to be used. Ach means this chakara is halantyam. The chakara is svarartha. It's for Vedic svaraha. We do halantyam akaro vashishyate. So when we say arshamsi vidyanti asyiti arshasaha. So we take arshas, add the akara to become arshasaha. Arshasaha. Then kardamo astyasminniti kardamaha pradeshaha. See what happens when you add this pratyaya ach is whatever if you have a pratipadikam ending in the avarnaha, you get back the same pratipadikam, you get the same form. Same form you get back. So in fact I think Like in Ramayanam, you had, Valina Sutaha, Angadaha. Angadaha, like Karnaha, in fact. How about that? Karnaha in the Mahabharatam. Now, how do you get the form Karnaha? Because Karna means a ear. Now, how is Karna called Karnaha? I think in all those cases, we can use this Ganaha. Arsha Adibhyo. Just this sutra is not in the book right now we're given. But in fact, let's look at Kashika for 1 second on this sutram 5.2. Again, we won't spend too much time in the class, but because this is not in the book. But if you want to do some homework, this sutram is very important sutram. I'll tell you why in a second. In fact, I'll just give you an example from the Ramayana and Mahabharatam both. It says that Akriti Ganashchayam. Akriti Gana first of all. Arshas etc. is Akriti Ganaha. So it says, this is the important sutram. Yatra abhinna rupena shabdena tadvato abhidanam tatsarvam iha drashtavyam. Let's copy this. So basically, if you see a word like Karnaha in the Mahabharatam, you can so you can say Prashastav Karnau Staha Asyeti Karnaha. So one who has special ears. One who has special ears. So I think he was given these kundalas by the Surya Devata, right? Anyway, for whatever reason, he had these special ears. But Karnaha should be Karnavan, shouldn't it be? Maybe Karni or Karnavan, but not Karnaha. Then how do you justify the form Karnaha or Angadaha? So you can say same thing here. One who has these special, armlets is Angadaha. So this was Kashika say Yatra Abhinna Rupena Shabdena. Means you had Karna Pratipadikam, meaning a ear, but you have the same Abhinnam Rupam. She says Tadvato Abhidhanam. It now describes the one who has that. Using the same word Karna, which means a ear. Now you're talking about one who has special ears. Tat Sarvam Iha Drashtavyam. This used to be seen in the Arshadi Ganaha. Arsha Adibhyocha. So whenever you find a form in the language where it looks like it's in the Matup should be there, but Matup is not to be seen. And what you do is that you can use this. So Yatra Bhinna Rupena Tad Shabdena Tadvado Abhidhanam Tad Sarvamiha Drashtavyam. So let me copy this and put this in the document. This is a good comment in the Kashika. It says that if you see a Pradi become unchanged, but now it's talking about the one who has that, then you think about this Arsha Adibhyoch, Arsha Adibhyoch, Arsha Adibhyoch, Arsha Adibhyoch. This is the Vyakhyanam in the Kashika. Okay, so now we say Kardamo Asti Asminiti Kardamaha Pradeshaha. Look at the same thing here. Kardamaha is like this mud, muck. It's wet mud. So slush. Kardamaha Pradesha. So this is a region which is slushy. So now Kardama is not, it's just the slush or the muck. Now how do you get Kardamaha as a Pradesha? Because Arsha Adibhyoch. You add the Pratyaya Ach, Anubandha Lope, Akaraha, then Yachibam Yasyeti cha. We get the same form Kardamaha. So that's what it means that Abhinna Rupena Tad Shabdena Tad Vataha Abhidhanam. It now talks about the one who has that. Abhidhanam means it describes Tad Vataha, one who has that. So similarly, there are some also very nice Ganasutrani under this sutram. Means there is some in this Ganapatha, they also have some extra rules over there. So again, we cannot take all of them in the class. Let's look at a couple of them. We'll come back to this in one more second. Let's look at this Ganasutrani first of all. It says Swangadhinat. So if you have a deficiency in one of your limbs, then also its pratyaya ach can be used. So not only Arsha Adibhyoch, but Swangadhina. So Kanam Akshi Astyasiti Kanaha. So one who has a defective eye. Defective in one eye. So he says Kanam Akshi Astyasiti Kanaha. So this Kanam should be described the Akshi only, not the one who has such an eye. Same thing here again. We take the Kana, add the Ach, then of course Anubandha Lope Harantyam Yachibam Yasyeti cha. I mean, in all these cases, first you have to add Kana plus Su. I mean, I'm not repeating those steps again and again. It should be Kana plus Su plus Ach. And then, of course, Supluk, Yachibam Yasyati Cha. So, Kanam Akshi Astyasyati Kanaha. Doesn't become Kana 1, becomes Kanaha. Why? Because Arsha Adibhyoj. Because Swangadhina. So, Khanjaha. Pado Astyasyati Khanjaha Purushaha. So, one who has a lame leg. One leg. He's lame in one leg. So, he's also called Khanjaha. So, Pado pi Khanjaha. Purusho pi Khanjaha. Akshiyapi Kanam, Purushapi Kanaha. So that's Swangadhinat. This is a Ganasutram under the Arsha Adi Ganaha. Arsha Adi Ganaha. Then similarly Varnat. So Shuklo Varno Astyasyeti Shuklaha Pataha. Now when we say, in English we do this all the time. It's a white car. It's a white cloth. No, white really is the color, isn't it? It's not the one which has white. Then how do we justify that? Because we should say Shuklavan Pataha. Shukli Pataha. Katam Shuklaha Pataha. This is a Ganasutram. It says Varnat. Is following a Varnavachaka Pradipedikam. You can also add this Pratyaya Ach. And the same thing as before. By Yachibam Yasyati. We get the same form. Shukla, Krishna, Rakta. You get the same form. So you get Raktam Vahanam, red car. We should say Raktavad Vahanam, we should say. But it doesn't, because it says that Varnat iti Ach Pratyaha. So Shuklo Varno Astyasyiti Shuklaha Pataha. Then there's also a anyway, so this is all under the sutram of Arsha Adibhyocha. Arsha Adibhyocha. If you want to do some homework, this is not in the book. If you want to do some homework, do 5 to 127. Look at this form. It's an important sutram. It's a very important sutram. Now, there's actually a Vartikam also under 5 to 94. It says that Gunavachanebhyo Matupo Luk Vaktavyaha. This sutram says that, this Vartikam, says that Gunavachanebhya, after quality describing words, which words denoting quality, Matupo Luk Vaktavyaha. The Matup takes look. He says that. So he says so Shuklo Gunaha Astyasyiti Shuklaha. So Gunavachaka Shabdaha. Then it's a quality, not some action that he's doing, it's a quality. Then after that, the look, Pratyaya takes look. So it says Ityeva Sid. Then why do we need this Sutram Varnat? If we can use a Matup look, Matupo look, Tena Rupam Siddhyeta, Tarhi Ganasutrena Kim. What is the Ganasutram? It says Ityeva Siddhe Swarabhedartham Iha Punar Upadanam Bodhyam. Because Matup look is one thing, and to add the Pratyaya Ach is a different thing, because the Ach has Chakara as an It. So in the Vedika Prakriya, you will have this Swarabheda. The Chakara as an It has some implications for the Swaraha. So if you need the Chakara as an It to get the proper Swara in the Veda, then you add this, use the Ganasutram Varnat under the Sutram Arsha Adibhyocha. Otherwise, if you just want Matup look, can use this Vartikam under 5 to 94. Gunavachanebhyo Matupo Luk Vaktavyaha. Okay. So these are two ways to describe. When we say Shuklaha Pataha, you can either apply as Vartikam under 5 to 94, do Matup look, or you can add the Pratyaya Ach by the Ganasutram Varnat. Only Swarabheda will be there. Now Akriti Ganoyam. Akriti Ganaha. So this Arsha Adi is Akriti Gana. It is expandable. Because wherever in the language you see, as Kashika said, Abhinna Rupena Shabdena Tadvato Abhidhanam Yatra Drishyate Tatra Arsha Adi Gane Ayam Nyatavyaha. This is going to be Arsha Adi Ganaha. Okay. So let's take an example. Padmam Astyasya iti Padma. Very common name, right? Padma, Kamala. How do these words come, by the way? Pushpa. These are common names, Pushpa, Kamala, Padma. So what it is that Padmam Astyasyaha iti Padma. So one who has, this is Lakshmi basically. Lakshmi has a lotus in her hand. So she is one who has the lotus. So Padmam asti asyaha iti Padma, because first you add the Padma plus Su plus Pratyach Arsha Adibhyo Ach Akriti Ganaha. We expanded. Then Supluk, Anubandalopaha, Yachibham, Yasyaticha. All the same steps as before. Get Padma. But of course, this is in the Striyam, Ajadyata stop, Anubandalopaha, Akasame Dirghaha. So we get Padma. So Padma stands for Lakshmi, because of the fact that Arsha Adibhyo Ach. It is she who has a flower. Means Hastau Drishyate Vidyate. So haste. So it is, she has a flower in her hand. Because, a lot of women have, because if you think, my mother's name is Pushpa. So now how did the word Pushpa come? Because Pushpa is a Napusalinga Pratipadikam, Pushpam. How did she become Pushpa then? Because of this sutram, Arsha Adibhyocha. So Pushpam asti asyaha iti Pushpa Lakshmi. So same thing now, Papam asti asya, this is not a good example. Papam asti asyeti papaha, Purushaha. We say Purusha is papaha, papoham. In the Kshama Prarthana, we said, in the Kshama Prarthana, you say papoham, I am a sinner. So, please forgive me. So then papoham. Then how you should say papavanaham, athva papiyaham. The papi also is used, papin. But if you say papoham, then papam astyasyeeti papaha. In all these examples, the same thing here. Remember this one. It says, abhinna rupena shabdena tadvato abhidanam. Okay. Now, then in Panini Sutram, Samanadhikarana Tatpurushaha. So reference this is that Tatpurushaha, Samanadhikarana Karmadharyaha. You see the Sutram. So it says Tatpurusha Samasaha, in which that the Samadhikaranaha, in which there is Samadhi, which has Samanadhikaranam, that is Karmadharyaha. So then it says Samanadhikarane Pade Staha Asyeti Samadhikaranaha. So Samadhikarana, same thing, Arsha Adibhyocha. Add the Pratyach, you get the same form back, but the same steps again, by Yachibham Yasyeticha. And then what we say is that Samadhikarane Padestaha Asyeti Samadhikaranaha Samasaha. It's a Samasaha in which the terms are in Samadhikaranam. So that's so even Panini has used the same technique in the Sutram Tatpurusha Samadhikaranaha Karmadharyaha. And in Gita, Yat Sankhyaih Prapyate Sthanam Tadyogairapi Gamyate. How about that now? Yat Sankhyaih Prapyate Sthanam Tadyogairapi Gamyate. Now the thing is that how this is Sankhyam is a Shastram, Yoga Shastram. Now what's the meaning of Yat Sankhyaih Prapyate Sthanam? What's the meaning of that? So he says, this many Sankhyas and they are obtaining a destination. No. So this is Sankhyanu. So one which follows the Sankhya Shastram. So he says, so Sankhyam Asya Asti Iti Sankhya. So he is one who means one who follows that Shastram. So Yat Sankhya, in fact, it's the great shloka from Gita. Yat Sankhyaih Prapyate Sthanam Tad Yogairapi Gamyate. Tad Yogairapi Gamyate. What is Yogair? The same thing. Yogo Astyasyeti Yogaha. So he is one. So in all these places, we get completely stumped by, isn't it? You get completely stumped by this usage. What is this Sankhyaih? There's only one Sankhya Shastram, And that's not that the Shastram is not getting that destination. It's the person who follows that Shastram. Then how do you justify this usage? Because Arsha Adibhyocha. Add the Pratyach, make it Tadvat, means Tadvati. So Tadvati means one who has that. Tadwan. One who's Tadwan, one who has that, will now become Sankhya or Yoga. So anyway, Gita, this is not in the book, so, please do some homework. So Yat Sankhyaih, so it is Sankhya-vadbhihi, Yoga-vadbhihi. So that is what it says. Okay, so that's one sutram. So this is sutram again, is Arsha Adibhyoch 52127. So the word Padma, Pushpa, Papaha, Karnaha, Yogaha, Sankhyaha, all this comes. Important sutram. Then the Vartikam which we just saw, this Gunavachanebhyo Matupo Luk Vaktavyaha 5294, Shuklo Gunoasyasti ti Asyasti. Shuklaha Pataha, Krishnaha Pataha, Shvetaha Pataha. You can do Matup Luk. This is only Gunavachanebhya. This is only Gunavachane, only quality describing words. So when you have a word like Yoga or Sankhya or Papaha or Padma or Pushpa, you cannot use this. Those are not qualities. Those are nouns in their own. They are not the same quality. I mean, like Pushpa or Padma, so or Karnaha. So there you cannot use this. But if you have a word like Shuklaha, Shvetaha, Shvetaha, Shvete Dhayer Yukte comes in Bhagavad Gita, right? Shvete Dhayer Yukte. So Shveto Hayaha is a white horse. Then we can say Matupo Luk Vaktavyaha. Either you can use this, or you can use this one Varnat, this Garna Sutra. Only Swara Bheda will be there. Because this Varnat means the Pratyaya Ach is being added, Chakar as an It. Well, here is only Matup Luk. So Gunavachanebhyo Matupo Luk Vaktavyaha is a Vartikam in 5294, which can also be used. But only Gunavachanebhya. Let's take one or two more just to give you some idea. It says Pranis, this, as I said, the book is over, just giving you a little bit small tour of the Matupadhikaraha. So Pranisthadato Lajanyatarasyam. Pranisthadato. So if you have a limb of a living being, of a prani, a part limb, which is Adanta Pradipadikam, then you get the Pratyaya Lach Anyatarasyam, optional. In fact, this Anyatarasyam is Lach, from this Anyatarasyam goes down. Matup Prakarane. That's why Matup comes everywhere optionally. So Chudalaha Chudavan. So Chudalaha, one who has a tuft of hair. Chudalaha. So Chuda, so Prashasta Chuda Astyascheti Chudalaha Tva Chudavan. As I said, Matup will always come. So because, and then of course Madhupadayascha Maturvojavadibhyaha. So you get Chudavan or Chudalaha. Similarly, Jivvalaha, Jivvavan, Grivalaha, Grivavan. So we get this Pratyaya Lach after a body part which is ending in a Akaraha. You can get Lach also. Of course, Lach means Halantyam, Pratyaya is La only. And you can also get Matup. Then Pranisthat Kim, Shikavan Deepaha. So this Deepaha is not a living being. So this Shika means Jwala, it is the flame. So that which has like a long flame. So that is the Shikavan Deepaha. Or this says this, so that if the Shika is of a Deepaha, we will not get Shikalaha Deepaha. Because Pranisthad Ataha Lajjanitarasyam. Then Pranyanga Deva. It has to be a Murtimad Angam. It should be physical limb. So Medhavan Purushaha. So Medhavi, Medhavan. So Medhavan, you will not get Medhalaha. Because Pranyanga Deva. Similarly, Shobhavan, Ichhavan, Chikirshavan. In all these places, you will not get Shobhalaha, Ichhalaha, etc. It has to be Pranyanga Deva. Okay. So anyway, this is one sutram there if you want to do some more homework. This is not in the book. If you have a limb, body part ending in Akara, you can get the Pratyaya Lach also optionally. Then comes the sutram Lomadi, Pamadi, Pichadibhya, Shane Lachaha. These three ganas, Lomadi Ganaha, Pamadi Ganaha. So Loman means hair. So Lomadi Ganaha, Paman. I think means like some kind of a rash or some disease. Pichadi Ganaha, Picha. These have various meanings. I'm giving you one meaning. Picha like feather, like a peacock feather. So Picha, Shane Lachaha. So Sha na ilacha. Sha na ilacha. So Loma Adibhya Shaha. So Loma ni like Loma Shaha. The Rishi called Loma Shaha. He was full of hair, and his khyati was at the end of one kalpa, only one hair would fall. So his life span was such that he would live so many kalpas. So many eons he used to live, and at the end of one eon, only one hair used to fall. Anyway, whatever. That's a story in Puranas. So Loma Shaha. So Loma Shaha. Lomani Santyasya Loma Shaha. Loma Shaha. So means in English hairy. Hairy, right? Hairy. So one who has lot of hair. So Bahuni Lomani Santyasya Loma Shaha. One who has, this is bodily hair. Lomashaha. Same, you also get Lomavan, Romashaha, Romavan, Roman also. In all these places, don't forget that we have to na lopa prajapati, na lopaha prajapadikantasya. Because Angam will get the Padasanya by Swadishvasara Namasthane, and then you get Pratyalopa Pratyalakshanam Suptingantam Padam, then 8 to 7, na lopa prajapadikantasya. So you get Lomashaha, Lomavan, Romashaha, Romavan. Similarly, Girishaha, how about that one? Giri, Kailasaha. Giri Asyaiti Girishaha. So Girisha can be derived also. So one who has the mountain. This mountain, of course, is Upalakshanam. You can take it as samsara, I guess. So one who owns this, one who resides, one who has this thing. Which, anyway, this is called Kailasagiri. This is not Vedanta class. So Kailasagiri. So one who has that is, can be called Girisha. So it's pratyaya. That's what I'm saying. You will not suspect how these pratyas are used in all these places. Like a word like Pushpa or Padma. You didn't think there is a Matu pratyaya in there, is it? Same thing, Girisha. We don't think this is a Matu pratyaya in there. So that's why I said this prakaranam is very important. There are a number of these pratyas which are used. In unsuspecting places, you will find them. Unsuspecting places. So Girishaha, Giriman. So Girirasya Stiti, Giriman. Then Pama Dibhya Naha. So Pama, I say Prajapati Paman, Asti Astyeti Pamanaha. So Pratyana comes over there. So Pamavan. Similarly, Hemanaha, Hemavan. So Hemanaha. So Hema, Asti Astyeti Hemanaha. Golden, one who has gold. Who has gold. In these places also you have to remember 8 to 7. Nalapa Prajapadikantasya. So it's the Pama Adiganaha. You see the Pratyana coming at the end. The Gana Sutram here also. Angat Kalyane. So somebody has beautiful limbs. We can use the pratyana. So this pratyana is used only in the sense of Kalyane. It's auspicious or, so Sundarani Angani Santi Asyaha it Angana. So Angana is a young woman who has beautiful limbs. So Angana is a term which is commonly used. So again, this is what I'm saying. You would not suspect if there's a matu pratyaya, matumarthe pratyaya atra vartati iti jnayate. You may not suspect matu is there in some form. Matumarthe pratyaya. Matumarthe shouldn't say matumarthe pratyaya. But she say, so kalyani angani santi asyaha iti angana. Sundari nari. So it's a beautiful woman who has beautiful limbs. So angana. This is Rudi Shabdaha. It is not used. It is used only for women basically. So angana. Of course, it's a feminine form, so ajadyata shtap you have to use, 414. Akasame dirgha. The pratyaya na comes after the prajapati anga in kalyane. It's only one who has beautiful limbs, auspicious limbs, beautiful limbs, nice limbs. So angana. This is a Gana Sutram. So one more, Lakshmiyaha Acha. After prajapati Lakshmi also we can use this pratyana. You see how these things are coming, all these forms are there in this prakaranam. Like a word Lakshmanaha. You would not think Lakshmana. I don't think we think Lakshmana has a pratyaya in Matvartha is in Lakshmanaha. But there is. Because it says Lakshmir Astyasthiti Lakshmanaha. Means prosperous, glorious, in we can think of. One who has Lakshmi Lakshmanaha. So, in fact, in Lakshmanaha, the Rama Seva Rupa. Rupa Lakshmi hi asti. So he had the great fortune of serving Sri Rama. That was the Lakshmi that he had. So Lakshmi Rastyastheti Lakshmanaha. So what have happened to the Ikaraha? Gana Sutram says Acha. It's Akara Atcha basically. So it says that Atcha means that is Akara Adesh Alontyasya. So the ending ikara of Lakshmi takes the akara adesh, and then you have the pratyana. So Lakshmi Rastyasyeti Lakshmanaha. So Lakshmi plus na, and then Lakshma plus na, because it's this Gana Sutram Acha. And then I should say Lakshmi Su plus na. I mean, you know the steps now. Lakshmi Su plus na become Lakshma Su plus na. Then Supluk, and then we can Lakshmanaha. Now finally, of course, we get 842 at Kupmanum Yavayepi. Then you can get Lakshmi one also. Matup will also come. But you can get Lakshmanaha, Lakshmiyaha Acha. Then finally, pichadibhya ilaccha. Picham asti asyeti pichilaha. So there is this pichadi So one who wears this, you can say pichilaha, Krishna, you can say. He has a lotus, sorry, not lotus. The peacock feather he wears. Pichilaha. Pichavan also will be there. Then pankilaha pankavan. So pankam asti asya, one which has pankam is the slush or mud. So pankalaha, pankilaha, pankavan. So anyway, so these are these various forms that you can get from this loma, the pama, the picha, the shanela chaha. So if you see the pratyaya sh or na or ilach coming after pradipatika in matvarte, then this is the sutram to use. Now kesha, one more. Well, we got two more. Okay, just to give you a flavor. Again, all this is not in the book because this is today is the last day of this adhikara for us. So kesha dvonyatarasya, kesha dvonyatarasya. To form the word Keshavaha. Pani has one special sutram just to form the word Keshavaha. So Kesha Dvo Nitrasyam. So following the Prajapatikam Kesha, we get the Pratyaya Va. See the Pratyaya Va. Anyatarasyam, optionally. So we get that, so we get Prashastaha Keshaha Santyasya Keshavaha. So why do we need the Anyatarasyam? We already have Matup coming anyway. Because we can use Initano also we can use. So we can use Keshavaha, we can get Keshi, we can get Keshikaha and Keshavan. There's a little joke over here, by the way. In the Bhagavata Puranam, Keshava kills Keshi. So Keshavaha Keshinam Hanti. So both are with the Kesha and the Matuparte Pratyayaha. But in one case you say Prashastaha Keshaha Santyasya Keshava Bhagavan. So one who has beautiful hair. And then you say, then other one you can make it Bhavaha Keshaha Santyasya Keshin Daityaha. So he has hair all over, while Sri Krishna has beautiful hair. So this is, you see how these pratyas go all over. So in the Bhagavata Puranam, the Keshavaha kills Keshin. And they're both formed using the Pradipatikam, same Pradipatikam, and Matvarte Pratyaha. So Keshava Shabdeyapi, Keshin Shabdeyapi. So we get, anyway, so this Pani has a special sutram for Keshavaha. So Keshavdvo Anyatarasyam. So Pani has many rules in Ashtadhyayi. He has many rules in which he forms only one word for one single word. Like a word like Ichha. Pani has one sutram just to form the word Ichha. The word Swamin. He has one sutram just to form the word Swami. And so on. So anyway, Prashastaha Keshaha Santyasya Keshavaha. Pratyaya is Va. Keshavaha. Then you can also get Anyatarasyam. You can also get Keshin, Keshi, Prathama Ekvachanam, and Keshikaha. These are Atta Inithanau. And then you can get Keshavan also. Matup is always there. But by Anyatarasyam, we understand we can get Keshi and Keshikaha also. And one more, Vacho Gminihi. Vacho Gminihi. Vacho Gminihi. Vacho Gminihi. So find the word Vach. It is also to form one single word, Vagmi. Vagmi. So Prashastaha Vag, Prashasta Vag Astyaseti Vagmi. So one who has this special speech, eloquent is Vagmi. So this is also, you see, this is also Madhubhatya Pratyagmi. Pratyagmi says that. So sometimes, so you get so Vagmi. But what happens is that sometimes you get the pratyas, because, what would have happened is that, then you say, why does Pani says, Gminihi, why not say Minihi only? It will become Vangmi otherwise, won't it? Because if Pani only says Minihi, then what would have happened? Angam would also get the Padasanya, of course, because of the Swadhishusaramastani Padasanya. And then we would have had this, Yarono Nasiko Nasikoa, Pratye Bhasham Nityam. So we had Vangmaya. So Vangmi would have happened. Would have become like Vangmi. You want Vagmi, not Vangmi. So Sapani says Gminihi. But then you got, Dvau Gakaros Tahatra. we have two gakaras because vach plus gmin pratipadikam. And of course we get chohokuhu becomes vag. So we get jalam jashwante. So chohokuhu become vaj, and then jalam jashwante vagmi pratipadikam. Now, but many times we will not see it as, you see it as vagmi only, not vagmi but vagmi. Now, how do you justify this? In the Mahabhashyam, Patanjali says that nahi vyanjana parasya ekasya anekasya va shravanam prati vishesho asti. Which means that if you have a vyanjana parasya, if you have a hal followed by another hal, if you duplicate that prior hal, it doesn't, you cannot hear any difference while you hear the word. So in the word vagmi and vagmi, there's hardly any difference in the shavana bhedo nasti. Shavane bhedo nasti. So that is why this ga ma, it sounds the same as ga ma. So that is why that's the justification used to write the word as vagmi instead of vagmi, because nahi vyanjana parasya means when there is a vyanjanam, when there is a hal following, ekasya anekasya va. If you have one hal or you repeat the same hal many times, shravanam pati vishesho nasti. So there is no difference in the sound when you have a hal following and the prior hal, whether it is one or it is many. Shravanam prati bhedo nasti, vishesho nasti. So tasmat karanat vagmi iti likyate, iti shruyate. Vagmi iti shruyate. The pratyaya is gminihi. So you get vagmi. But you can also get the form vagmi because shravanam prati bhedo nasti. Okay, so that ends this prakaranam for us. I hope you enjoyed it. So let's go on to the next page in the book. And the next page in the book, I think we have the last thing in this lesson now. We're taking three pratyas, vati, but make a correction please, not vaticha. Pratyaya is vati. Vati with the anunasika ikaraha. Vati pratyaha. So this is not vatich, it's vati. Then mayat and matracha. Let's start with the pratyaya vati. And the sutram is 5.1, 115 and 116. Tena tulyam kriya ched vatihi. Tena tulyam. So we are now out of the matup adhikara. We are now going to different adhikara, different place, and I should say nitadhyata adhikara. Tena tulyam kriya chedvatihi. So tritiyanta, because it's tena. Tritiyanta. Tulyam ityarthe. Vati pratyaha yat tulyam tat kriya chet. Yat tulyam tat kriya chet. Let's take an example. Brahmanena tulyam brahmanavad adhite. So someone studies like a brahmana. So there is an action that he is doing. The action is like ashwavad dhavati. He learns like a horse. So yatha ashvo dhavati tathaiva ayamapi dhavati. So he runs like a horse. So ashvena tulyam ashwavad dhavati. So you can say kshatriyavad yudhyate. So you can say that you can say kshatriyena tulyam kshatriyavad yudhyate. So he fights like kshatriyaha. So and so on and so forth, you know. So it says so brahmanena tulyam brahmanavad adhite, but it has to be tulyam yat tulyam tat kriya chet. It has to be an action which is done similar to somebody else, not otherwise. So she says that brahmana kritrika dhyayanena tulyam yatha bhavati tatha adhite ityartha. So brahmana krita adhyanam. So this is a study which is done by brahmana. Now someone else is studying, his study is also the same, it's similar. So that's what it means, is that this adhyanam, the action of studying, the similarity should be in the action, not in a quality or something like that. So anyway, let's derive this form first. It says, it means the derivation is straightforward. Brahmana plus ta plus tena. In the adhikara of samarthanam prathamadva. Samarthanam Prathamadva. This Tena. So it's Brahmanena. But the one small thing is this Tritya, Brahmane Tritya. You can say Brahmane Tulyam, Brahmanasya Tulyam. Because this sutram, this is of course not today's topic, but 2372. So you can use Tritya or Shashti. Tulyarthaihi. Atulopamabhyam. Tritya Nitrasyam. Means Shashtiya Tritya can be used in this comparison. So you can say, so that's 2372 is used to get this Tritya Vibhakti over here. So Brahmanena Tulyam Brahmanavas. So Brahmana Prasta Pratyavati. Once you add Vati straightforward. It says Brahmana Anubandalope Upadeshe Janunasika Inkrit Samasascha Supo Dhatu Pradipatikayoho Brahmanavat. The Brahmanavat gets the Avyaya Sanya, by the way. But this is not to be confused with the Matup becoming Vatup. Be careful now. Be very careful. But this is a Avyayam. While the word like Bhagavat, Balavat, and all those are Visheshanani. So those are adjectives. Now, if you decline that Bhagavat or Balavat, then what has happened is that if you declare in Napumsakalinge Prathamatva Dvitya Ekvachanam, you get the form Bhagavat again or Balavat. Now you do not know whether this is going to be Pratyavati or is Pratya, Matup becoming Vatup. So, but only in Napumsakalinge Prathamatva Dvitya Ekvachanam Sandeha Syat. Otherwise, if you have the word ending in Vat, if it's an Avyayam, it's going to be this one most likely. Tenatulyam kriya chedvatihi. Tenatulyam kriya chedvatihi. So we have to be careful. Don't confuse these two. This is not one who has a Brahmana. It could have been Brahmanavat Kulam. It could be it's a family who has Brahmanas. It could be like that. You can know. But then you know from the context. Is it this is basically like an ad. This is an adverb. It's an adverb. When somebody does an action like somebody else, so the action is being qualified by this. So do you have if you happen to have a form Brahmanavat, you can have Brahmanavat Kulam, that will be an adjective to Kulam. So you have to check from the context. Is it an adverb to an action? Or is it an adjective to another noun? Then from that you will describe. But of course, again, it will only be a confusion if you have Napumsakalinge Prathamatva Ditya Ekavachanam. Anywhere else, you will not get the form Brahmanavat or Bhagavat or Balavat. It will become Bhagavan, Bhagavati, Bhagavataha, Bhagavadbhyaha, all that. So it will not be. But if you have Brahmanavat, then first check, is it an adverb? Because Tenatulyam Kriya Chedvatihi. Remember, Kriya Chedvatihi. Very important. Kriya Chedvatihi. So it must be an adverb. So here we say Brahmanavat Adhite, Ashwavad Dhavati, they are clearly adverbs. Okay, so this you have to be careful of that. This get the Avyaya Sanya by Taditascha Sarva Vibhakti, Taditascha Sarva Vibhakti, Tadishascha Sarva Vibhakti. So this is included in the list of this Taditas which get the Avyaya Sanya. So it gets the Avyaya Sanya. Similarly, Chakravat Parivartante Dukkhani Sukhani Cha Prasiddham, Subhashitam Prasiddham. So sorrows and happiness and sorrows revolves like a wheel. So they come and go up and down. Sometimes happiness, sometimes sorrow. Asmakam lokikana for people like us. So dukkhani cha sukhani cha chakravat parivartante. So they turn around. They come by rotation. They rotate like a wheel. So this chakravat is a kriya visheshanam for parivartante. So they turn like a wheel. So sorrows and happinesses turn like a wheel. So again, this has to be, this is Tenatulyam Kriya Chedvati. So these Dukkhani and Sukhani, they're doing an action of rotating like a wheel. So just like a wheel rotate, they rotate. That's what you should understand. So this pratyaya is Vati here. Now sometimes you may have to supply a verb. Ultimately, Panini says, Kriya Chedvati. You have to supply. Sometimes, Adhyahartavyam. You have to supply that. Parvato Vandhiman. Dhumavatvat. Mahanasavat. So this is Parvato. This is a statement from the Tarka Shastram. Parvato Vandhiman. This mountain has fire in it. How do you know that? Dhumavat Dhumavatvat is Dhumavat. Now this is a Vatu Pratyaya. Dhumavat is Vatu Pratyaya. Dhumavat, in fact, you see a nice example here with the Vatup. On top of Vatup, you have another Pratyaya, which is, which is Tadita Pratyaya, which is the Tasya Bhavastvatalav. So this is a good example which caps our last two topics. So Dhumavat, Dhumavatvam, Dhumavat, the status of one, nature of one who has smoke. So Dhumavatvat, because he has smoke, there's smoke coming from the mountain, therefore the mountain must have fire in it. Mahanasavat, just like a kitchen. Mahanasa is the cooking area. When you know the smoke coming from the cooking area, it must be having fire in it. But now it's Mahanasavat. This is a Vati Pratyaya. But where is the Kriya for that now? You have to supply that. It's Bhavitum Arhati. So Parvataha Mahanasavat Bhavitum Arhati. So this mountain must be like this cooking area, kitchen. It must be Vaniman. It must have fire. How do you know it has fire? Dhumavatvat. Dhumavat, it is Dhumavatvat. It is Dhumavan. It has smoke. And Vanhim Vina Dhumona Sambhavati. Tasmat Karna Dhumavatvat Mahanasavat. Anyway, so it's Dhumavat. This is a Matu becoming Vatup. One which has smoke is Dhumavat. Of course, you have to add 8 to 9. Madhupadayascha maturvayavadibhyaha. Dhumavatvam. This is our pratyatva. Tasya bhavastvatalav. Dhumavatvad is Panchami from that. So by the fact that it has smoke, it must have fire. Like a kitchen. But like a kitchen this is Vati. It requires a Kriya. You supply Bhavitum Arhati. It deserves, it must be like the kitchen. So must be being, act of being. Must be like this Bhavitum is you have to supply that Bhavitum Arhati. So anyway, if you see you can say Swapnavat Jagat. This world is like a dream. Where is the action over here? You can say Swapnavat Jagat Pratiyate Vartate, Drishyate. Someplace we supply something. So this world exists like a dream. So Swapnavat Jagat Vartate. This world exists like a dream. So if you just say Swapnavat Jagat, then you have to supply Adhyartavyam. So Kriya Adhyartavya. So Kriya has to be there. So you supply Vartate. This world exists like a dream. Yes, you supply. So this you have to do that. Then Kriya Cheditikyam. Why does Pani say Kriya Chet? Because Gunatulye Mabhut. If someone has a quality like some other's quality, then we cannot use Pratyavati. Like Putrena Tulyaha Sthulo Devadattaha. Devadatta is fat, like somebody's son. Then we cannot use, you cannot say we can say Putravat. You should not say Putravat Devadattaha. Should not say, because Putrena Tulyaha Sthulaha. So then you cannot. Should be some action that Devadatta is doing. Should be like the, action of the sun. But here there is no action being done. Devadatta is stout, like the sun. So now we cannot use Putravatta. So it is Vati, Atravati na vidhiyate. Vatir na vidhiyate. You cannot have Vati because this is a Gunaha, Stulaha. This is not a Kriya. Putrena Tulyaha, Stulaha Devadattaha. The Kriya nasti. Tasmat Vatir na sambhavati. There is one more sutram which says that Saptamyantat Shashtyantat Iva Arthe Vati Pratyyasyat. So following a Saptamyanta Pradipati, or Shashtyanta Pradipati in the sense of Iva, simile, comparison. Vati Pratyasya. So it says Mathurayam Iva Mathuravat Sugne Prakaraha. This is the typo here, I'm sorry. Prakaraha. So there is this surrounding wall, Prakaraha. So there is a surrounding wall in Srugna, which is like the one in Mathura. So Mathurayam Iva becomes Mathuravat. There is no Kriya over here. There is no Kriya. But Saptamyantat Iva Arthe. So Mathurayam Iva equals Mathuravat Srugne Prakaraha. So something in one place resembles something in another place. We can say Mathuravat. So Mathurayam yadrishaha prakaraha tena tulyaha prakara srigne. So this surrounding wall in Srigna is the same kind of wall that is there in Mathura. So Mathurayam iva becomes Mathuravat. So Saptamyanta Shashtyantadapi Chaitrasya iva Chaitravan Maitrasya Gavaha. So Maitraha has these cows which are like the cows owned by Chaitraha. So because Shashtyantadapi Ivarte. So Saptamyantat Shashtyanta cha Ivarte Vati Pratyaya. So Chaitrasya Yadrishyaha Gavaha is Strilinga Pratipadikam. Tavistulyaha Gavo Maitrasya. So this Maitraha has these cows which are like the cows which are owned by Chaitraha. So you can say Chaitravat. There's no Kriya over here, but somebody has something which is like something which somebody else has. So you can say Chaitravat Maitrasya Gavaha. And here Mathuravat Srigne Prakaraha. So this is Saptamyantam and Shashtyantam. We can use I'm should say this is Saptamyantam. Saptamyantat Mathurayam iva. Chaitrasya iva. Chaitrasyeva. Chaitravat Maitrasya Gavaha. Listen, the steps are same to this. Instead of adding ta, you add either ni or nyas. Otherwise steps are the same. Nothing special. That's the pratyavati. Let's see what in the book he has. So one more time is that vati comes in the say tena tulyam kriya chedvati. That's probably most common usage. So brahmanavad adhite ashwavadhavati. But you cannot say putrena tulyaha putravat stulaha iti vaktum na shakyate. But then tatra and tasyeva saptamyanta shashtyanta cha ivarte ipratyasya. So you can Mathurayam iva Mathuravat srigne prakaraha Chaitrasya iva the shashtyantam Maitrasya Gavaha. Now let's see what is there in the book, and time is running out as usual. Kalo dhavati sada dhavati. Okay. So the suffix denotes similarity. It is indeclinable. Bhaktaditascha vibhaktihi, Sutram. Similarity must refer to an action. So Viravad Yudhyate. So somebody fights like a hero. So this is 51115. We also saw the 116 is not in the book. So that tatra and tasyeva. Tasyeva is, this one is not in the book. I just gave you another one just to finish it. Okay, time's running out. Let me just read this sutram and we'll stop soon. It says Pratyamayat. Pratyam. Okay, for homework. For homework, please, next time, first of all, do the homework for homework. Because next time we'll finish this lesson in the first part of the class. After that, please take this homework. There's nothing new in the homework for the most part. We're just going to be copying and pasting what you've done. So all these forms, Annam Dadati, all of these are already covered by us in the lesson in great detail. So it's been nothing new, just some practice for us. So we just see all these sutras we already covered. If, like for example, we saw today, this, Tapasvi, Mayavi, Keshin, Gunin, Bhrantiman, then, Himavan. I mean, just the same thing we saw today. And we saw Imunich, Pator Bhavaha, Shitasya Bhavaha. So all these are the same, Tuantal, Shurasya Bhavaha. So this is just going to be just a repetition of what we already done. So we'll go through it pretty fast because there's nothing new. You may have to make a couple of adjustments. So do the homework for next class. Also, we're going to finish in the next class these last two rules for the Mayat and Matrach. As Mayat, if you want to do some for Matrach, there's only one sutra, really 5-37 for Matrach. So, so this is for homework. Time is up right now. So for Matrach, take 5-37. So Pramane Matrach. So 5-37 for Matrach. Pramane Dvaya Saj Dadhang Matrashaha. And for this Pratyam Mayat, like Chinmayananda, right? Chinmaya. So Mayat. So Mayat, I'm sorry, excuse me. Mayat is Mayatva etayor bhashayam bhakshachadanayoh. We're looking at 5, 4, 3, 143, 144. And we also take some more. We'll take some more as usual, some more extra that which are not in the book. But I would request you to look at this adhikara for homework, please. Remember, we saw this adhikara of sheshe. We're looking at adhikara of sheshe, which was starting from 5 to 92 sheshe. We started and we looked at the sutras like tatra bhavaha, tatra jataha, tasyedam. And if you recall, that adhikara ended right before tasya vikaraha. So tasya ended a shesha adhikaraha right here before tasya vikaraha. We right here at 133. And then now for homework, if I can request you to look at this adhikara, tasya vikaraha and avayavecha. So this adhikara take for homework, please, and pay special attention to these two sutras. Mayadvaitayor bhashayam bhaksha chadaniyoho. So 143, 144 is going to be in the book, but if you can just start from here, tasya vikaraha, and take it from there to the end of this. This is not a very long section. So we'll look at 143, 144 in detail in the next class. But you look at this adhikara for homework, tasya vikaraha, just for getting for the pratyaya mayat, and look at 5 to 37 for matrach, pramane dvayasaj dadhang matrachaha. And if you also do the homework, which is going to be exactly what you do in the class, nothing. Well, there are one or two small complications in the homework, but basically it's just the same thing we done in the class. Okay, let's stop with that. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Rama